Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, great. It looks like I changed some settings, so it looks like we're a little bit more on a delay versus last time, those of you that were here. Hello. Hello, Carrie, CL, Susan Jones, MF, Mr. Visual, Chris White. Hello. Also, Carpet Cowboy 58, if you're still in. Hello, KL and CL. That's everybody that I've seen chat. All right, so let's get started. I'm really excited. Thank you guys that are live for joining. What we're going to do today is we're just going to go over the map. Hi, Carrie. We're going to go over the map and what the kind of the features are that are built into the Vegas map, and then we'll spend a little time maybe just discussing like we did last time. Just kind of open discussion or Q&A if you want Q&A if you have any questions of the map or any ideas. I've got a notepad open here that I'll be able to jot any ideas down that come across. Suggestions are welcome. I don't want this to be a project for just me or just a couple of us. I want this to be for everybody. So I mean, we won't be able to accommodate, I'm sure, all suggestions, but a lot have already come across, and we've already started to implement some of them. All right, so let's skip over to the screen here, and I think you're going to be able to see my mouse. If you are on a phone, this might be a little bit hard to see. Hopefully you've got a big screen on your phone if you do. So let's just get right in here. So this is the Vegas shooting map. When you open up the map, this is kind of what you'll see. You'll see the fairgrounds here, or not the fairgrounds, but the concert venue, the Las Vegas Village, it's called, on the map, and then you'll see some filters over here on the left. These may be checked or unchecked when you come in here. So I'm just going to go through and kind of select each one of these, and we'll go through each one, and I'll just kind of show you what they do. So the first one here is videos taken on foot. When you check this will pull up all of the videos that have been attached to the map so far. As you'll see, it's not nearly even close to how many videos were actually taken on foot. This is probably one of the more painstaking aspects of the project, is adding the videos, because not only do you have to have the link to the video. Yeah, I won't go. I won't bore you with the details of why it takes a long time, but it takes a little while. So this will kind of be a growing thing. But if we scroll in here to the village and click on one of these links, what you'll see is it'll pull up a link to the video. This one's called Route 91 Shots Fired. Let's find one of the more famous ones here. How about the bus stop video? So by clicking on the little icon, the on-foot icons are orange here. By clicking on those and then clicking on the video here, it'll actually pull up the video, and you can watch it. All right, and then to go back, you just click a little back arrow here in the upper left. And then to go back to the map and the filters, you just click the left arrow there. So let's do it again. Let's check out another one. Here's the Dan Bilzerian video. Some of the icons you'll notice show up as a dot here or an icon, and some of them show up as a line. The ones with a line indicate that the person was on foot and moving. So they weren't static like these other videos. They didn't just stay in one place. They actually moved around. So the Dan Bilzerian video is actually a good example, because if you've seen that video, he is running during part of it. He runs all over the place. So let me click on this. If you click on this line here, that'll pull up that video. And the same thing, you just click on the video over here, and it pulls it up, and you can start to watch it. And there he is running. So he's actually behind the Coca-Cola kind of venue right there. So you can kind of see he just ran, what we just watched was running from right here to about right here. He ends up running all the way over here and down and across and over by the apartments. So that's that filter, the on foot one. The next filter is videos taken inside vehicles. This is similar to the other one, only the icons are blue. The purpose of that is, and you can actually check both or multiple layers here, but the purpose of that is to just kind of make them stand out in the icon. If it's just a static car, the icon will show up blue. So I've only got a couple of those on here. Okay, and the next layer is places of interest. This is a couple of places around the map that might be of interest to people, and we can add more of these by request if needs be. But some examples are obviously Las Vegas Village, the fuel tanks. Those aren't marked. I mean, other than the circles, they aren't really marked on the map, so it just really makes them easy to find. Oasis Apartments, that's where Dan Bilzerian ran over near. The bus stop. The Roman Catholic Shrine of the Most Holy Redeemer. And that's the church across the street from the venue. If we scroll out here, I think there are a couple more. Yeah, so we've got the Mandalay Bay, Delano, Luxor, Excalibur, Tropicana, Hooters, MGM Grand. I added some on here that I thought might be an interest down the road if we add some of the videos across the strip of where people had reported gunfire in other places. All right, on to the next one. Las Vegas Village venue features. So this is something I did really recently, just a couple of days ago, and this was really just to build out all the features within the venue. I actually used to build this. I actually used part of the fit report. If you look at the fit report, there's like a drone shot or something like that. Maybe a helicopter, maybe a drone, but it's like a diagonal shot down of the venue. It's really one of the best views of the venue after the shooting. It's the one where they actually put up the victims and where their locations were that they were found, where the bodies were found. So I used that and a couple other maps to build this out. So you actually can see all the different gates here across the venue. The bleachers, some people have asked, where are the bleachers at even in relation to the stage? Well, they're all the way back here behind the chair corral. The chair corral is where if people were allowed to bring their lounge chairs or their chairs. So they're folding chairs. So they would just fold them out and you can see that in the photos as well. And then we've got the, sound booth. This is a vending area, I believe. If you have any corrections, please let me know. The two lighting towers at the back, and then the turf area. This is kind of important for finding where some of the videos were taken from. You can tell from the video if it was taken outside of the turf area or inside. And then we've got the stage built out and the barriers. There's actually two barriers. There's barrier 1 and barrier 2. These kind of start around the stage and go around. I didn't draw the fences. I could add those later if there's interest in that. But it's just, just time consuming to add all this stuff. And last up is the victims. I debated whether or not I wanted to add these. Let me add this back here so you can kind of see. These were actually taken from the fit report, and are the locations of where people passed away, or where the bodies were found, I should say. It doesn't necessarily mean they were passed away there. In some cases, we know that the body was actually moved. What's interesting about these is if you click on one, it'll actually tell you which victim number it is. This actually matches up to the fit report, so you can reference that if you want. And I included the name of the person here as well. That's public information. It's in the fit report. So I feel comfortable putting those in here. You know, I debated putting the names there as well, but I think it's when you're doing research, I think that's actually going to shorten the time as to, you know, cross-referencing the fit report and trying to figure out who this person was. It's just a really quick reference. And then something different from the fit report here is these bodies. If you look at the fit report, these bodies were actually placed outside here on the street. Here, let me go to a different, the map view. So this is the first aid area, and they had actually put them outside the fence, but if you read the fit report, it actually states that that the bodies were found near the first aid tent. To me, there's a fence. This is a fence right here. If it was near the first aid tent, would it really be on the other side of that fence? I don't think so. I think that was a mistake by who built the fit report. So I actually placed them inside here in near the first aid tent. Something else of interest you might find that the fit report doesn't have is where the bodies were located on the map that were ended up at the hospitals. So let me scroll out here. If you scroll way out, and let me change the map view back to this, you can actually start to see and I thought there was one other hospital here further out. Oh yeah, there are. So you can actually see where some of the others, some of the other bodies ended up here at the hospitals. A particular note is this one that had, I think, 16 of the bodies ended up here at, and I think I have this on our places of interest. Yeah, Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center. Yeah, a lot of mistakes with the body placements on the report, KL. I see your comment there. Yeah, just a lot of mistakes in the fit report overall, but I try my best to mimic what they had there. And just like the other bodies, if you click on one of these, or victims, I don't know what we want to call them to be respectful. I really want to be respectful in this. At first I was calling them deceased, but I don't think that that's the right terminology to use. I think the victims is kind of what they use in the fit report. I think that might be appropriate. But if I click through them here on the left here, you can see who they were. And these are just basically put in order, 40, 41, 42 from the fit report. There's no organization as to where these sit. It's just near the hospital means that it was, that the bodies ended up at the hospital. And then one other feature that I kind of hinted at earlier is just you can change it here. If you want to click it on the satellite view, you can actually change it to the satellite view. That might be helpful for viewing some things. However, the venue, the satellite view of the venue is old, so they still have the bleachers built out. So it's only, you know, it's only useful in some instances. That's why I like to keep it on this other view. All right, so a couple other things you can do with the map. One I just did right here which is you can actually, so let me just check everything, check all the layers. And you can actually drop down these arrows. So if video is taken on foot, if I drop this down, it's actually going to give the name of the video from YouTube. This I think we'll want to update at some point, but that's what it says right now. So it's not really super helpful. But what's interesting about these, and maybe not those ones, but if I go to places of interest, or actually, yeah, let's go to places of interest. If you click on one of these here, all of these make sense, right? Fuel tanks. So if I click on fuel tanks, it's going to take me right to the fuel tanks on the map. Now if I scroll out, yeah, it zooms right into it, but at least it gives you that location. So if you want to get back to somewhere, I want to go to the Luxor and see what videos were taken around the Luxor. Oh, there's this one, you know, across the street in the parking lot of the Luxor across the street from the Mandalay Bay. And I want to watch that video. It's a really easy way to kind of get around just by looking at the labels here. Where's Hooters at? Oh, there's Hooters. Where is University Medical Center? And that's where it is on the map. So just clicking on them over here can be helpful as well. And I will say, I went through and I tested this on my phone. This map does not work well on your phone. So if you're mobile only and that's all you've got, I'll try to find another solution for you. But this map does not work well for just on mobile devices. I'm sorry, I don't know why that is. some of the features do work. You can pull up the map. You can look at the icons. But if you click on one of these, you click on one of the icons, you won't be able to play the video. So I'll look into a solution for that. Maybe there's a way to do it. I'm using an iPhone, so maybe it works on Android. I don't know. And then a couple other items here. So one is some of the videos actually have multiple videos. A good example here is this one, if you recall. Oh no, I'm sorry, not this one. This one, the FBI shooting cleanup. So if we click on this video, you can see up here in the upper left, this actually says 1 of 4. That means there's actually 4 videos as a part of this. So you can watch one video and use the arrow over here to skip to the next one and scroll through them that way. I've also pasted the parts 2 and 3 and 4 here in the description. So look out for those. There's not very many of those. I think this might be actually the only one. But as we expand the map, what I'd like to do is have as many backup versions of the videos as we can. And so what you might find is that 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are just, one is the original video, and then 2, 3, and 4 backups. That way, you can always get back to the video you want to get to, even if a channel gets taken down with a whole bunch of videos. Another feature is just one moment here. I've got to check one thing. Apologize. While I'm doing here what I've got to do on my other screen for the stream, we've started to build a small team. So we've got, I want to say 5 people now, maybe 4 or 5 people. We'll probably max out at about 6 people, and then we'll start building it together. Some people have already started to help, and that's the feature here I want to show you, which is, let me see if I can find one of them. Yeah, this is a great one. Okay, so MF, user MF, who I believe is here, right? MF, you're here. MF has gone through the painstaking procedure of determining the start time of many of these videos. So this one starts actually at around 10:06, right? Is that the actual start time of the video or the start time of the volley, MF? Maybe you can answer that here. I'm on a little bit of delay, I think. And then the other piece of it is you can tell which volleys are in the video. This is going to be super crucial for anybody that's trying to match up like time information, or they know, hey, I saw this person at this time. It was during this volley. And then you can go through and find the other videos that may have shown that same person. So it could be really useful for, the volley MF. But does this first description time, MF, does that indicate the start time of the video or the start time of the volley? Oh, volley. Okay, you answered that question. Yeah, so we don't have the start time of the video, but we have start time of the volley, and this should probably be enough for you to determine, kind of the window of time where this video was taken. We might enhance the naming with this information as well. Maybe we can do some kind of like in parentheses which volleys it's covered by. That way, when you go to the list here, you can easily see, which of these videos corresponds to the area of time that you're looking for. All right. Hi, Pac-Man. Welcome to the party. So that's it. I think I went over every feature. Let me just check my notes here. I went over every feature that I have. What questions are out? Does anybody have any questions, or does this all make sense? Do you just want to get your hands dirty and try it out? I'm going to paste the link. there's the link for anybody that wants to try it out in a different window or after this. I'll also post it. I don't know if it's in the YouTube description, but I'll post it there if it's not. I think it might be. Yeah, I'm excited too, Pac-Man. Paladin sneaks in the back door and sits in the back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks, Kale. Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. If you guys have any suggestions and you don't think of them right now, he waves back. If you don't think of them right now, feel free to hit me up either via my YouTube channel or via email. I think my email is posted on some of my videos. And I just checked this. The link to the map is also in the description for this video, so you should be able to find it there as well. Thanks, T83, Upland. Yeah, Pastor. I think it will be. I think it will be extremely useful. I mean, I don't even know the applications that it can have right now, but I think getting it out there in a kind of a visual form is especially useful. It's going to be especially useful for some people's research. And I think the main brunt of this task is going to be one, adding all the videos that we can find. Two, finding all the backups it's really all of it, but finding all the backups that we can find and attaching them to the correct videos, making sure that we don't have any duplicate videos, and then the piece that MF is doing with the volleys. Thanks, Return to Logic. Yeah. And it's not just me. The team is multiple people. Oh, the video works on your Android phone. That's good. Thank you for letting me know that, Paula. So Paula's saying it worked on Android. That's awesome. There's no exit 7. Was that a mistake on the scanner that night? Oh, interesting. So I used about 3 different maps. They may have been talking about this entrance. So the way that the festival was set up, and this is so this is about the question of exit 7, which was brought up on the police scanner apparently. So this main entrance here, the way that it worked is if you were showing up for Route 91, you would come in the main entrance. There was like a almost like a hallway built between fences here to the left of this, and then you would enter here through the main entrance. If you needed to buy tickets, you would go down the sidewalk here and buy them at the box office. So this main entrance could be Gate 7? I don't know. Oh, maybe. Yeah, KL says, I believe Gate 7 is labeled 7 because there are 2 gates for A and B. Yeah, there are 2 gate 2s as well. So there's Gate 2B and Gate 2A. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so Pastor tried it from their iPhone, his or her, not sure, iPhone, and it worked. So maybe it is. I actually tried logging in with another Gmail account and it didn't work. So maybe I need to update my Google Maps or something like that, my Maps app. Were you using the app, Pastor, or were you using just a browser like Safari? Paladin asked, "Where were concert goers allowed to buy single night passes?" That I'm not sure. I know for like Coachella, they only sell 3-day passes, but I don't know. I don't know for if they did that for this one. You know what? You could Paladin. I think the website is on archive. What is it called? Archive.org. The older version of the website prior to October 1st. You might be able to look on there and find out that answer to that question. Paula says there's an. Let me just zoom out here a little bit. Paula says there's an entrance between 1 and 6A, Mandalay Bay Road, to the right of the stage. Oh, down here? Yeah, there was it. So right here, I think there was like and maybe if I pull up the satellite, we can see it. No, not really. But I think, yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. So this is actually a dirt area here. I've walked along this area, and you can see there's a gate right here. So this gate, I think was for cars. If that's what you're talking about. It was for like the tour buses and stuff, Paula. It's possible that they were calling that Gate 7. Yeah, KL. I mean that's kind of the same thing Paul's saying. So if this was the entrance for performers and whatnot, maybe it was this one. Because I don't know. I don't think, other than this one, Gate 1, I don't know if there were any other gates over on this side. I don't think so. Except for that very large gate for the buses. You use the YouTube app, so it must just be my app then that was causing the problem, Pastor. I'll have to go look at it again, I guess. I'm really glad. I am extremely glad to hear that that's the case, because I know there are a number of people in this community that are mobile only. I mean, just desktop computers or even home computers just aren't a thing that much anymore, because you can do so much from your mobile device. I mean, Farmers for Truth, he runs his entire channel, I think, off of his phone. I'm a geek, so I have a bunch of computers. I like to tinker. Yeah, so Paladin said, I was told by a concert goer that you can only buy 3-night passes. I would believe that, because that's what Coachella does. It's those. They started doing that at Coachella, I know, because it helped to cut down on the scalping, because it's a lot more difficult to scalp a 3-night pass than it is a 1-night pass, because then you get those people that want to just come and see their one band, and you can jack up the price. So they started doing that for a bunch of festivals. I think Life is Beautiful festival, just the lineup just got announced today, and I think that's the same case. I think it's 3-day only, but I could be wrong. So the bands were scanned. Yeah, I haven't looked at them closely, but I was just at Coachella. When was that? Not last weekend, but the weekend before, and they had it has an RFID on the wristband, and you swipe it in every time. So yeah, they should know every single person that came in. They won't know who left because people were like knocking down gates and stuff like that. And if it's like Coachella, Coachella allowed in and out during the day, and I know that Route 91 did too, because I saw that somewhere. Right, I'm pretty sure. Now I'm starting to question with myself. But during the day, if you swiped in and out, then you'd have to hit your RFID wristband again, so they would know you went in and out. But at the end of the night, they just throw the gates open and people just flood out. Your cousin bought one day? The what I find strange about that, CL, is all the wristbands that I saw were purple. So usually for a multi-day concert, they would have different color wristbands for each day. Maybe you'd have like a 3-day wristband, and then you would have, if you were just there on the Friday, then it would be yellow, and if you were there on Saturday, it would be orange. That way they can easily, spot people that are not supposed to be there. But all the ones that I've seen have been purple. All the general admission ones. I think the VIP ones were different colors. There were bands with different colors sold on the different days you could attend. So that might be the case. Yeah. Yeah, and how they do it, Paladin, how Coachella does it, as far as information tracking goes, is they make you register your wristband through your app. And I think that's how they tie it back to a particular person. Because if you were to say you were to buy one on Craigslist, then you'd still have to go register it on your app. So I think they would still know who was there, even if they had resold their ticket. Lots of victims didn't have wristbands according to the autopsies. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Well, and you're saying it wasn't logged in the autopsy, right? So I guess, my brain goes to, well, it was probably removed or got pulled off or something like that when they were moving the body. Or if they had to do medical work, they might have sliced them off. Especially if the person ended up in the hospital. I mean, is the hospital going to leave those on? No, it's probably going to get in the way of IVs and stuff like that. So they'll probably just slice them off real quick. And then so it wouldn't be on them during the autopsy. Yeah, Pastor. I'm actually using my TV as my second monitor. The one you're seeing is actually on my TV. So it looks like there is some maybe just, I don't want to say disagreement, but I think that, it sounds like the jury's still out on the wristbands, Paladin. To answer your question, I think that some people are saying that they're all purple and some people aren't. So, I mean, I know that they wouldn't have purple for the VIPs. So maybe the person that was on the TV show had a VIP wristband on. Does anybody remember what color Dan Bilzerian's wristband was? Let's use the map. Perfect for it. Because he was in VIP. Dan Bilzerian's video suggestions are interesting. I don't see a wristband on his right wrist. Yeah, his right wrist is empty. Oh, maybe. Maybe it's like pink? Nothing on his right wrist. Left wrist, nothing. Well, there you go. Uh, if you don't know who Dan Bilzerian is, he is like a high roller poker ladies man, gun shooting, most interesting man on Instagram guy. So it wouldn't surprise me if he knew somebody that just let him in and he didn't need a wristband, since he's a high roller. I'm just catching up on the comments here. Sorry if I'm going silent. Only 17 of the 58 were autopsies were described. So is that sounds atypical the way you're writing that out? Very rare. Is it very rare for the autopsies to not be described, Paladin? He probably snuck in. Trust me, that guy would not need to sneak in. He would just, I mean, yeah. Just go watch some of his videos on YouTube. He rolls around with plenty of cash. He could just, and people just know him. He was actually in a Denzel Washington movie too. He's like an actor on the side. He lives an interesting life, I'll tell you that much. Something was hanging from his pocket. Was that his wristband? I didn't see what was hanging from his pocket. Oops. Slow it down a little bit. He had his hand in his pocket. There's like a cargo pocket. Oh, there you go. Did you see that? Let me see if I can get back to it. There you go. Look. VIPs didn't have wristbands. Maybe. They had these lanyards. Or what is that called? Like a placard? Paladin says it's rare. It's rare to not have the autopsy described. You'd expect a higher number wearing wristbands. Yeah. I mean, 18 of them were at that one hospital. There's a bunch found at the hospitals. The ones in the hospitals, I used to be married to a nurse. So I mean, and she worked in the ER for a while. So one of the first things they do is they just like get you ready, basically. They, take off if they need to do surgery on you, they're just going to clip off your clothes. They're going to cut off anything on your wrists. If you have a watch on, they're just going to take it off because they need to be able to get an IV on you really easily. If you have a hat on, they're just going to pull it off. So those ones I would expect that they wouldn't have a wristband on. However, what about all these ones, right? All these ones. You would expect them all to have still have wristbands on. Unless what Dan Bilzerian had on him, that placard, was for the VIPs. Maybe they didn't have wristbands. They had that, a badge on a lanyard. High rollers will want a wristband. They don't want to be hassled. Are you a high roller, Dave? Is that how you know that? I mean, they're people too, right? Some may want, some may not want. 31 was found at the venue or outside. Yeah, I agree. Except for these ones, maybe Paladin, the ones found over here by the medical tent, because they may have also cut them off in order to perform. I don't know if they probably don't have capabilities to do like IVs here though. I mean, maybe they do. As if somebody passes out from heat exhaustion or something like that, they might have the ability to do that. So they might have, shears that they can just quickly cut them off. So there's another 4 that possibly might not have wristbands. But yeah, I mean all these ones here in the festival grounds, I would have expected to have had wristbands on. Yeah, KL says all on the body should be bagged and included in the personal property. Yeah, but does that's probably true, but does that get included with the autopsy? So if the person passes away, are there personal effects given to their next of kin if they're there, and then their autopsy is performed separate from that? I don't know. VIP had wristbands according to CL. What was that thing that Dan Bilzerian had then? That badge. It was almost like a pass, like a... and it said Harvest right on it, so it's from the festival. You had to have a wristband so you couldn't transfer to anyone else. That actually might be true. So I went to a festival last year here in Arizona, and they had both. So the VIPs got wristbands, and they also got the lanyard thing, the pass thing. Oh yeah, it might have been a backstage pass. That's a good point, Pastor. But the wristband, to your point, CL, the wristband was required, and the pass on the lanyard was optional. But he might have just gotten, Dan Bilzerian being who he is, he might have just gotten one from somebody and said, hey, yeah, I'm VIP, I'm Dan. Should always be with the body during the autopsy. Okay, good to know. Since they're evidence, okay. Three different wristbands for one show, front row Dave. I guess that's how you get up to the front row, right? That's a lot. I've definitely had a regular wristband. I've definitely had 3 wristbands too. So you have a regular wristband to get in. You have your ID wristband, which tells them that you're 21 or over, and then you have an extra wristband that has like your drink tickets, has little like peel off drink tickets on it. When we cut clothes on a patient, they go with the patient always, at least at Dallas Fire Department. Yeah. Yeah, and I would expect that to happen in Vegas as well, if that's the case. But even if they have... So, Pac-Man, are you talking about for somebody that is still alive or somebody that passes? Because my question is, if they pass... Are the clothes handled differently in that case? Are they given to a family if they're there? Yeah, CL said no front row wristbands there though. You had to fight your way. Yeah, there was the VIP section is, in my opinion, how a VIP section should be at all concerts, which is they should be far back. It should be like where you can chill and enjoy and have drinks and discuss with friends. The real people that really want to see the artist should be able to get to the front row every single time. I hate when when concerts like block off that area for VIPs who, you know, are casually interested in the artist and they just have like a front row seat. But maybe I guess that's, you know, you can make an argument that's what they're paying for. But entrance, Florgier, and buffet for Monsters of Rock. Yeah, there you go. Usually, if I was doing logistics at that concert, I would only have one wristband for floor GA, and I would just tell your entrance people if they have this one, that's good for entrance. But maybe the wristbands work differently. Stephen Paddock was clothed. Yeah, well, they didn't have to do any life-saving operations on him. So, as far as I know, I mean, you can speculate. I say that a lot. If they pass, why remove anything? No, I'm talking about, so if somebody was trying to save their life and removed the clothing during the life-saving operation and then they passed, then you're left with a dead body and clothing. So what happens to the clothing in that case? And it sounds like the consensus is that it just goes with the body as evidence. Ballistics were recovered from 46 of the 58 victims. So what about the other 12? The AstroTurf was standing right. Yeah. I noticed that from the videos Astra or CL. So they had, let me pull up the map again here. So they had back here, if I scroll out a little bit, we're going to change the view back to this one because it's a little bit easier to see. But yeah, this chair corral, this is where all the chairs were, the folding chairs. There were no chairs up here at the front of this AstroTurf. This chair corral area is also AstroTurf. It's got like little rows here. I didn't take the care to draw those, but it was also AstroTurf. And then the bleachers, I don't know. I think the bleachers are just built into the venue because they are so far away. I can't imagine anybody actually watching the concert from back there, maybe resting or something, but I mean, it's just so far away. The other 12 had exit wounds. Oh, okay. So the bullet passed through. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hello, Mr. Burgundy. Welcome, welcome. I just read your comment, Mr. Burgundy, about why no one's watching your new video. I guarantee everybody on here will be watching your video. Your views will have to wait. So YouTube does suck. I will agree with you, Mr. Burgundy. And something I learned recently is that if you want to be notified every time somebody posts a new video, and I don't know, maybe everybody knows this and I was just the only one that didn't, but you go to their profile and this little bell here in the upper right, if you click this for whatever channels that you're most interested in, you'll get notified every single time they post a video. So, just a little life pro tip, internet tip. You're taking my audience. That's funny. Just borrowing, Mr. Burgundy. Hey, I'm your audience too, by the way, so. So Paladin says most wounds were back, chest, and head. No reason to remove wristbands in most cases. Well, yeah, and if they died, yeah. It is odd. It's suspect, Paladin. I kind of see where I think where the next chess piece is moving, which is, what reason, I mean, that's personal identifiable information, on those wristbands, because it carried the person's, who they were basically. What other reason would they have to remove it other than to hide that? And it's not like you can reattach those wristbands. Those wristbands, once they're attached, you got to cut it off unless they put it on too loosely. "39 naked." So 39 with no clothes reported in the autopsy is what that means, right? That's pretty odd. I mean, I on the one hand, you could make the argument, hey, this was a chaotic event. Vegas has never dealt with anything like this before. Well, maybe in smaller chunks. But on the other hand, these are medical professionals they have very process oriented people. If you're supposed to keep the clothes in the bag and provide them with the body, they're going to do that. They're going to do all those things. So, I mean, that many people showing up in the morgue for the autopsy without their clothing, very, very odd. So Mr. Burgundy asked Weg, I haven't been able to get on here and add to this. It's a great idea. Are you getting people adding? Yeah. So there's a small team of us, including you. You have permissions, but yes. To answer your question, yes, some of us are, and we're just kind of, the next step is really to get the team in contact. So we'll open up like a Google Hangout or just an email thread where we can contact between us and kind of figure out roles. Most of the map's been built by me and then some help with from MF up to this point. The going is slow. That has been, at least. The features here on the map took a while to build. Yeah, the bell doesn't always help. Yeah. Huh. That's odd, Pastor, that the bell didn't work. One thing I do think that happens is if somebody takes down their channel or YouTube takes down their channel and then it comes back up, I think if you had notifications set up for them, I think that goes away. I think you have to reset it back up. I've noticed that a couple times when people come back on YouTube. If you know there will be no criminal trial, does it matter? That's a good question, Paladin. I mean, how would they have known that? I guess because it took them so, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. The bell is BS sometimes. So people don't like the bell. Maybe it doesn't work as effectively as I sold it to be. That's how it's supposed to work. Let's just say that. To answer your question, Mr. Burgundy, yes, I got with Las Vegas shooting. He's having some internet things going on right now, but once that gets fixed, he's going to help out. "14 listed at sunrise doesn't appear to be accurate from what I've seen," says KL. KL, what do you mean from what you've seen? What are you using for a reference on that? Yeah, I think I've still got that link on my clipboard. CL, here it is again. The link that there's the link to the map. That's like the view link. It's also pasted in the description of this live stream. If you're on mobile, just hit the little down arrow to bring up the description, or just scroll down if you're on a computer. You're welcome. Those are numbers I have from links. So 14, you're saying at sunrise. Well, let's look at the map. Back to the map. So that was sunrise. So let's go to sunrise. 16. Oh, wait. Maybe you're right. Maybe 14. 14. You're right. 14 according to the map, or according to the FIT report, which is where I got this information from. So Paddock was pronounced dead, but I mean, that's a good point, Paladin, but I don't think so. He was pronounced dead by Lombardo at 3:30 a.m. That must have been the first press conference. At that time, was he saying that it was only a single shooter? Or was that in a subsequent press conference? I don't recall if it was the first one or the second one. Yeah, I think, Mr. Burgundy, I think Las Vegas shooting, he'll be extremely helpful. He said most of his videos have backups listed in the description too, which will be really useful for adding. I know you weren't here earlier, but we can actually add multiple videos to each link. So we'll add backups to each one, to each little icon. MF, do you have an idea of which videos you'll add, or will it be a surprise? At this point, so I started with kind of my own. I have some playlists built out in YouTube of as many original videos as I could find. So this is the original poster, the person that was at the concert, and I kind of started with those. The reason being is that those are less likely to go down, I think, than people in our community, like the research community, which you've seen those channels go up and down over the last couple months. So I started with those. And I will continue to dig through those until I kind of run dry. I think on the other end, Las Vegas shooting, once he gets started, we'll probably just have him do his own videos, if he's open to that. And then the backups with the links that he has. Evidence of victims passed at venue, but listed as dying at hospital. If you're trying to match victim with autopsy, there are also photographs that show bodies in locations not listed on the FIT. Yeah, I think the FIT, I think, is based on kind of the last, where was that body finally found? When the shooting stopped and all that, and they could actually go and assess the crime scene, where was the body? So the locations of these on the map don't necessarily indicate where the person was killed, but it's an official document, the FIT report. Well, as official as a preliminary report can be, I guess. And so, that's where I put them. Now, if we have other information, then we could maybe put icons here saying, this person was also spotted, previously passed away here. And a good example, I think, of that is I can't remember her name. The woman that was actually found back in here. That body is not on the FIT report, and I'm sure somebody's made a video already about this, but I think it was actually right here. I'm going to wreck her name if I try to guess it. And I think she was actually, it's this one right here. She was ultimately found up here, Melissa Ramirez. So yeah, we've all seen, or many of us have seen that video of the security camera that's right here, and there's the truck there, and her body was just laying there, and those poor two guys, obviously not as, they didn't get it as bad as her, but you could see it was really affecting them because they hugged each other, kind of hugged it out. But yeah, so at some point her body got put in that truck and then taken up here. This is across Reno Avenue. It's by, yeah, I mean, so what is that distance-wise? 100 yards maybe? It's south of Hooters and just north of Reno. Return to Logic says I got to go. Hope this is going in 30 to 45 minutes. I haven't eaten dinner yet. And just a little personal thing about me. I fast 2 meals a day, every day. So I haven't eaten yet today. I'm a little hungry. I don't know if we'll last that long, but I'm good to go another, as long as we're all finding value on this, I'm good to go a little bit longer. Maybe till 7:30 even. I'm trying to catch up here. Get back to where you can see the comments too. So Paladin said that Lombardo can pronounce death as long as the coroner signs off on it. That's good info. I didn't know that. She was moved there for convenience of the coroner. Okay. I mean, if you had bodies strewn about, I guess it makes sense to have them closer together. It's just kind of morbid, moving the body for the convenience. Her husband is active in your groups. Oh, yeah. I mean, that whole thing. Yeah, there are 2 other women in that parking lot also. That would be, let's use the map. Back to the map. Doreen Anderson and no idea how to pronounce that. Nasa Tonks? If it's helpful, we could end up adding more information here. I want to respect these people, so I think the name, because it's in the fit report, is probably appropriate, but we could wrap it back around and add other information. I debated whether or not just to even pay respects to put pictures of these people on here, which is an option. I ultimately decided that wasn't probably the right thing to do. I don't want to upset the families at all. I want to, be working on behalf of them to try to figure this out. The clothes for Melissa Ramirez's autopsy don't match the photo. Wow. Paladin, you need to make a video about that, brother. That's... Man, if we had autopsy photos, I don't think those are ever going to be released. But they should have taken pictures of the clothing, I would think, right? Or the coroner would have. Chris Roybal is shown in the photo after the venue was cleared out close to the stage. That the fit has him closer to the VIP tent. Yeah, I think that's another example of, bodies just being moved afterwards. for any, you know, for a variety of reasons. If people thought there was still danger and they wanted to move people out, or they thought they were still alive, or they were still alive. Well, after the venue was cleared out, you would think that he probably wasn't still alive, but. Coroner uses available evidence to pinpoint time of death. Yeah, something I learned. I mean, I've learned so much through this process. Not things that I necessarily wanted to learn, but felt that I kind of had to. And one of the things was just looking more into that whole process. You, Paladin, clearly know a lot more than me, but just learning the difference between like cause of death and manner of death. Where the cause of death could be gunshot wounds to the chest, and then manner of death could be homicide. And the coroners, I think, work to find both of those things, and to my understanding, and they use a number of elements to determine them, especially when it's not clear. And I think they also try to provide, which wounds were entry wounds, exit wounds, and what ultimately killed the person. So if that wasn't done in the autopsies, I think that's too bad. All right, Paladin, I saw your. Wait, you're going to. I think that means you're going to go. You're going to go. I'm going to Weg. Oh, you're going to create a video. Okay, all right. Please do. I'm like behind on the chat, and here we go. I'm just gonna scroll down. Who's closer to who are we talking about that's closer to the bleachers? I didn't put anybody close to the bleachers. And I used the fit report. So did I miss something? Melissa Ramirez's clothes, according to the autopsy: pink dress, brown boots, jean shirt, black top, and black camisole. Camisole? Now, is that what we see in the video? Are there any pictures of, you're talking about the surveillance video was black and white, right? Was she not in a... I don't know if I have that video bookmarked. Yes, on the video. Yeah, that's if you can show the video that she was wearing a completely different outfit, then there's this. That's add that to the laundry list of items that the LVMPD needs to explain with the forthcoming evidence release. And if it isn't, and we still don't have the answers that we're looking for, then I guess I'm going to be outside LVMPD headquarters protesting again. I'll just camp out there. Chris Roybal. Okay, let's see if I can find Chris Roybal. I don't know if I have a way to look that up easily here, but let's see. So I think... not from there, but maybe back over here. Must have passed it. There it is. Chris Roybal was victim number 2, according to the FIT report. Listed as number 2, of course. That doesn't. So on the FIT report, he shows right here, Burgundy. Oh, I don't have the screen pulled up. There we go. He shows right here where I have it highlighted. In the FIT, next to the concrete, in the photo after the venue is empty, Mr. Roybal is shown still lying in the same place he was shown in the live leak. He's really lying about where the FIT shows number 17. That up here? Seventeen's right next to the stage. So is that, when you say bleachers, I'm thinking way at the back here, Burgundy. These bleachers behind the chair corral. Oh, next to the stage. Okay. Yeah, so there was this railing here, and there are a couple videos up against this railing that do look like people are under bleachers, but I think where they're actually at is under the stage. In this video, somebody said it was bleachers, but the title of the video, the title of the video, and if you look at the guy's description, the original guy that posted this, he says they were on the front row, like closest to the stage. Oh, the bleachers in front of the, yeah, I don't really have those notated here. I saw in some of the pictures is that what they are? Bleachers here in front of the VIP? I need to go back and look and see if I need to draw that on the map, because there is some kind of structure here right out in front of the VIP section. But from the FIT report, you can't really tell what that is, and it's not on the maps. So Pastor, if somebody can post a link to the video where the Melissa Ramirez video. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to show that on stream here because I don't want to mark this as restricted viewing or whatever. They're black plastic seating. Huh. Here's one from the VIP section. So is this inside the bleachers you're talking about? I guess it's just this beginning part. So there's this railing here. Are the bleachers behind that? Roybal was shown in the FIT about 20 feet in front of those bleachers. Yeah, on the turf. Well, on the FIT report on the turf, right? But he was really up next to the stage near victim 17. Yeah, so maybe somebody, I don't know. I mean, because that's towards, one of the exits. It's towards this gate. Did he get dragged there? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the fit report is the best we've got, but we know time and time again it's been shown not to be very accurate. Here's what I want to see though. The LVMPD was like very specific, or at least Joe Lombardo. Hey, this is a preliminary report. Like this is a draft, basically. So that final report, it better be pristine. It better be exact. It better be perfect. You know what I mean? Because if they just put out the same preliminary report with just a couple edits, I won't be having it. On the next day video? Oh, okay. The FBI cleanup one? This might show it. This guy zoomed in so much, which is awesome. Okay. So there's the stage. So I just want to like click and scroll on this map like it's Google Maps. Almost gets there. There are these couple tents down here. All right, well, I'll go look it up later and see if I can see if I can determine if that needs to be drawn or not. Yeah. Yeah, the final report better be spot on, but I mean, my confidence level is very low, but I'm still hoping that, LVMPD pulls out a Hail Mary at the end and they just like nail it, That'd be awesome. My dog's whining. Come here. Are they going to do a final autopsy report? I don't think so. I think those are final. I don't think they release draft autopsies, but you tell me. Yeah, it might very well be the case, Paladin, but if that's the case and they try to address like our criticisms and the gaps that we have, then it actually could cause additional holes in what they're presenting. What's my dog's name? Well, just like many of you that have two initials, my dog also has two initials. Her name is L.E. Call her Ellie, and it's short for life extension. Because I never was a dog person, but I read something that extends that people that are dog owners live longer. So that's how she came about. She's a rescue greyhound. They can airmail the final report via helicopter. Yeah, they can shoot it out of one of those t-shirt guns, right out of a helicopter. All right, guys. I think I'm going to shut 7:20. We've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes, or I've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes. And those of you that have joined me the whole time, I really thank you. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. We'll start to put the team together, the map team, and start to grow this really. And just bookmark the link that I sent out and the one that's in the description, because that's the link that you'll continue to use going forward. And then maybe we'll do another live stream here in a week or two, and just to kind of give a status update. And I'll try to coordinate a little bit better with you, Mr. Burgundy, so you don't release a video at the same time. All right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care.